Okay, please, if the e-coaches are here, kindly forward to your groups to let your participants join because we'll begin very shortly. Okay, thank you everyone. My name is Joyce Beglo. I'll be your moderator for today. So, welcome again to the day four of the Future Ready Mastering Soft Skills and Building Our E-Portfolios with Access Ghana. So, today's topic is on academia, and it's going to be an industry panel discussion. So, with us today, our honored guest to be Dr. Frank Barton and then Mr. Kofi Opong. But then I will just go on to introduce Dr. Frank Barton, which I see on the call. If you could just say hi so we know you are with us, then I would go on to tell all our participants the great person that you are. Dr. Frank Barton, can you hear us? Okay. So I think
Yes, I can hear you very
okay.
loud and clear. Yes.
I That's great. So to everyone, Dr. Frank Watson is a Vice Dean of the Office of Research, Innovation and Consultancy at the University of Mines and Technology in Ghana. And he also oversees the development and implementations of the university's research agenda and innovation strategy, among others. He is also a senior lecturer at the management, he's a senior lecturer of management practice and accounting at UMatt. And then over there, he teaches and then mentors students. He holds multiple credentials. So he is a chartered global management accountant, a fellow chartered management accountant, a chartered accountant in Ghana, and a certified practicing accountant in Australia. So he really has a lot of experience. He has over 20 years experience in the extractive industry, and he also has a proven track record of raising funds, building mines, and providing strategic business and risk management advice to various stakeholders. Currently, he serves as an advisor and board member of several boards in Ghana and has published several papers and books on corporate governance, sustainability, and circular economy in the mining sector. He is passionate about advancing education and innovation for sustainable development of the extractive industries and the 2030 agenda. You are very welcome, Dr. Frank Watson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. So our next guest is Mr. Kofi Opong. He currently serves as the regional manager for West Africa at Siemens. And in this role, he has been instrumental in leading significant digital transformation initiatives across the region. One of his notable achievements includes overseeing the integration of 9,000 smart meters in Ghana through Siemens Meter Management System. Under his leadership, Siemens has been recognized as the best company in digital transformation and innovation at the Africa Best Business Awards in Ghana. So you see, everyone, the panel that we have are really experienced industry personnel, and they would have a lot for us today. So, Dr. Frank, we will just get right into our conversation. So, can you still hear us?
Yes, I think.
Okay. If you can, you are free to show us your video and everything as well. So, I will just begin with our first question. Hello, am I still audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Sorry, there are some technical hitches. Okay, great. So I would just want you to talk to us about graduate and then soft skills and what you think are the most eminent and most significant challenges that they go through in respect to soft skills development.
If you can retake that, I think you are not quite clear.
Okay, so I was just asking your perspective on soft skills and then graduates. How, when graduates they leave school, what are the eminent challenges that they face in regarding to developing their soft skills?
Okay, thank you very much, Joyce. You know, in the classroom or in the academic setting, we get the student to understand the principles of what he or she need to get into the world of work. So basically, the main skill, which is geared towards the professional development of the individual, is taught. But then the industry need more than what you can do with your intellect, your ability, and the excellence in which you deliver that. There is more into how you relate your interpersonal relationship with your peers. There is more into how you deal with emotional intelligence issues. There is more to deal with even how to communicate and bring everybody on board on your projects. and how to deal with a team. I mean, most of the time, these are not hardcore stuff that is taught in the schools, but you will need these skills to complement the hardcore stuff that you have been taught. So it makes you a whole in the competitive environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that submission on that. And as you've mentioned the various challenges, what do you think are the particular soft skills that these graduates lack specifically when transitioning into the workforce?
I think I talked about emotional intelligence. I have also mentioned communication. I have talked about personal, interpersonal, relationship dealings. I have talked about teamwork, how individuals can learn to work in a team environment. So these to me are the things that um, I think is needed to complement the hard skills that is given in the universities.
Okay. Thank you very much on that. We have also really had various um, skills like such emotional intelligence being something that is missing with our graduates when they are transitioning to the workforce. I also just want to add on to ask that why do you think that academic transcripts alone are not enough to communicate the graduate's readiness for employment? So, say as you are the like the dean at UMAT, you go there or like you get graduates that bring their transcripts. Why do you think that is not enough?
So you see, your transcripts, which eventually gives you your certificates, is what is confirming the skills you have learned in hardcore. And that is what you are going to work with. So if you followed my first submission, I indicated that the hardcore stuff that we are learning, let's say you are being trained as an engineer, say, a mining engineer. You are going through your mine planning, you're going through everything that you need to make you a good mining engineer. That is what is going to put on your transcript. Nobody knows how you can deal with people when it comes to team building. Nobody knows how you'll be able to deal with people when it comes to effective communication. Nobody knows how you deal with emotional intelligence. So to me, these are the things that you need beyond your transcript. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much on that. But as you have talked about soft skills and communication and even how these individuals work with others, what do you then think is the most mistake the young professionals make when they present themselves to potential employers? That is, even if they have been able to show some level of these soft skills, what other things do you think they make mistakes in when presenting themselves to their employers?
That question is not very clear. You will have to put it again.
Okay, please, can you hear me? Okay. So I was just asking that as young professionals, what do you think is the common mistake they make when they try to present themselves to their potential employers, whether they may have just met them somewhere casual or where maybe in an interview session? What are some of the mistakes that these professionals make when presenting themselves?
Yeah. Um, I if I get a question right, it boils to me down to preparedness. How these young persons have prepared themselves especially if it's a job interview, how they have prepared themselves in terms of understanding the organization, getting an inside information to even know workflows, the work culture, and everything that goes with that organization. That is one. If it's about networking, it's about how we don't hurriedly want to go into, want to take people's number radios. So these are the things.
Okay, so just to summarize on what you've said, you've just hit on how preparedness is one of the issues that these people face, and also just in networking generally. Thank you on that. Um, we'll just move on to the next question, and I would just want to ask you that what elements make an e-portfolio stand out in a competitive job market?
I heard elements. Take it again, please.
Yes, please. What elements make an e-portfolio stand out in a competitive job market? You've already told us how your transcript is really not enough. Now we want to know how or what element in the e-portfolio, sorry, would make us stand out as young professionals.
Okay, so in the first place, what is an e-portfolio? So that's what we need to deal with in the first instance. The e-portfolio is how an individual is able to put himself out using the social media to get himself out there. We have so many e-portfolios, but the common among them, which is more professional, is LinkedIn, right? So how are you selling yourself on LinkedIn? How are you even observing people that are living your dreams, dream professions? And how are you carving, your own e-portfolio to make you stand out among your peers? This is very, very key. I mean, if you want to succeed as a young person who want to thrive well in the job market.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really hope our participants are taking one or two points out of this because it's something that is very essential. So I just want to just ask that as you've talked about the particular element in the e-portfolio, now how can students align those e-portfolios with the specific industry expectations or roles they aspire to do? So as you've mentioned, you may have to emulate someone or check on someone who you aspire to be. So we really want to know how these students can align their portfolios to the industry needs.
So you see, this is what I tell young people. Whatever you want to be or whatever you aspire to achieve, somebody is already living that dream, right? So who is mentoring you, or who have you picked as your mentor? And who are you reading on LinkedIn? What what is the profile of that person? How did he start? Because all these individuals, when you go through their profiles, you would see from the beginning to where they are now. And you can look at their trajectory, as they have navigated from the bottom to up. So these are the key things that you need to observe and make sure, if you can afford, you chart that path that the very person that you perceive to be is living. So it's very, very clear. And in doing all these, I also encourage that we have people that are mentoring us, into who we want to become, in addition to all these.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a follow-up question on that. How do you think we students can assess these mentors, especially when perhaps on LinkedIn, the person who we want to be or who we want to really follow the kind of life that they are living are usually maybe only posting their successes. So we don't really see a lot of the background work, or they are in positions that we really can't reach them so easily. What do you recommend that such an individual person do in that situation?
You see, mostly it's very difficult to tell an untrue story, especially when you are dealing with LinkedIn. Because when people they identify themselves with organizations. And most of these organizations are identifiable, and you can see their logos, reflecting in the individual status. So that's the first check. I know people post fake stuff, and a lot of fake identities that people are using. You must be smart in your own right to identify who is telling a lie, or who is telling, a truth. Of course, we must research. I mean, if you come to me and you want to engage me, I expect that you ask me deeper questions. That tells me you have actually really thoroughly researched in organizations that I have worked with or worked for, and you are asking me questions pertaining to that industry. For instance, I have worked for Goldfields, and I have indicated it on my LinkedIn. So if you go read about Goldfields and you come to me in my inbox and tell me you want me to mentor you, and you need specific information about Goldfields, and I said I worked there at this particular period, you can go back and find out what happened, what transpired. How did you do this when you were in that position? What were some of the difficult situations you dealt with? At that stage, you will be able to tell if the person is lying or telling you the truth.
Okay, thank you very much on that. So, just as you've indicated, one of the ways are just, even if it's just through a LinkedIn DM and better research. So, I hope we all keep that in mind. So, I'll just want to also ask that in what ways can e-portfolios be used beyond job application? So for other things like networking, freelance gigs, or even just personal branding.
You have said them. You have said them. It goes with networking, which is very, very important. I mean, sometimes we do get jobs for people. We are able to help other people through our networks on LinkedIn. Um, Sometimes, people look at your profile and they would want to even put you on their board to want to serve, looking at what you are doing. So that is personal branding. And I think you've said it all and said it well. And that is why it is important that you establish e-portfolio and you constantly update your e-portfolio with your progress, your projects, your wins, and sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, your faults. Because be very real and let people know that, because you see, in every situation, there is something for somebody to learn. If you are winning, others are cheering you up with your success. And if you are failing, others are learning from your failure. Let me give you an example. The first time I wrote my Chartered Institute of Management account examination, I failed, and I failed woefully, right? I had to come, and tell that I have failed and why I failed and why I'm going to work hard to pass that paper. And for me, it could just be a story you are telling, but somebody will pick a word or two from the reasons why you couldn't succeed. There are so many people that need encouragement. And sometimes some of these things that are put out there on our e-portfolios encourage young people, encourage other people to not want to renege on the things that they intend to do. So that's my submission on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, just so our participants know, it is okay to follow you. Just have to tell those stories and be out there. So, Dr. Frank, thank you so much for the kind of views you are giving us so far. I'll just like to continue with the next question on how students can, students and early career professionals can demonstrate their soft skills in a digital format. So you have already talked about LinkedIn, how that platform can really be a way that these professionals can demonstrate themselves. Are there any other ways that you can demonstrate our portfolio?
Oh, the easy one is the LinkedIn I have talked about. I mean, sometimes you can even create your own blog, and share, stories by putting yourself out there, bring a visibility to yourself, away from LinkedIn. And then also, I mean, we have uh, uh, Twitter, Facebook, and other handles, because these are not restricted to, I mean, professional posting. It sometimes is quite difficult trying to get yourself out there, but you can use, link Facebook and Twitter and the other handles to also put yourself out there in terms of what you do, what you stand for, and the kind of things you churn out to people. You could have a YouTube, channel that you can center on where your expertise are, to give information, to people. It brings visibility to you, and these, could be used. But the trusted network, where you can find everybody and get a broader connectivity in terms of professional communication and conversation, it will have to be LinkedIn.
Okay, thank you very much. So, our participants out there, prioritize making your e-portfolio or branding yourself more on LinkedIn. So, Doc, I just would like us to scale this conversation up to various stakeholders like universities. What do you think, or what changes would you recommend that university curricula should inculcate to better prepare students for the today's rapidly changing um, landscape or like workplace?
You see, Joyce, because we are busy teaching students the hardcore of what they are supposed to do to be successful in their careers and professions, we find it hard going to teach communication skills and spending more time to get people to develop e-portfolios anymore. What you do, and mostly most people do, is to how to help people prepare before they exit. So universities should have something like exit and readiness, and that would be used to teach people some of these skills.
Okay. Thank you on
I
that.
guess my partner is on. As you have heard, I think you might have to switch to him for some 20 minutes.
Sorry, you're breaking a little bit, so I didn't hear that. Hello, Doc.
So he's the other panelist will join very soon. He's stepping into a meeting small, so he will join very soon. Just a minute. The other panelist is online, so let's check.
Okay. I think Doc has left for a bit. So our general participants, we are just waiting on. Okay, so we have some questions in the chat box, but our facilitator, it seems they're having a technical issue. I can't see him on the call anymore. So we just have to wait a bit till they rejoin.
Okay, so Joyce, hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Christopher.
Yes, So, what he was saying we should do was that we should go into a breakout room for like 10 minutes and discuss the expectations in putting
Okay,
together your LinkedIn profile. What are the expectations? The Siemens manager will join us very soon, and then he picks it up. Then Dr. Franco will come back and continue. So
okay,
please just put them in the breakout in 10, 15 minutes for the discussion, the experiences, and then they all get back into the room. Okay.
okay. Thank you very much for that update, Mr. Christopher. So, support if you could just put us in breakout rooms. So, participants, you are to go into the breakout rooms, and then you have to go into the breakout rooms, and then you discuss the various expectations of especially LinkedIn profile. So incorporating everything that Dr. Frank Barton has told us, please keep that in mind. You will see notifications on your screen soon to join a breakout room. So please watch out for that as well. So everyone should just check on their screen. You see a notification to join breakout room. Just tap on it and join your assigned room. Hello, those who are still on the call, just you will see a notification on your screen. Just tap on it and join the room that you've been assigned to. So Eunice, KK, Ralph, Nanaya, just join the notification on your screen. So for
So for
those who are
those who
now
are now
joining,
joining,
we are
we
having
are having
breakout
breakout
room
room
sessions,
sessions,
and they would
and
end
they
in
would end
about
in
five
about
minutes.
5 minutes.
So wait,
So
you
wait,
might
you
be
might be
assigned to
assigned
a
to a
room. Just
room.
check
Just
your
check your
screen,
screen,
and you'll be
and you'll
added
be
to a
added to
breakout
a
room.
breakout room.
Hello, everyone. So, welcome back to the main session. I think you spent about 20 minutes in the main session. I really hope you had very interactive engagements with each other. So, now I just want to call on you to I just called on you to share with us what your group discussed. You can just use the reaction button, then you raise your hand. Then I'll just call on you. So you proceed with presenting whatever your group discussed. So who is ready to share with us? Okay. Seth. Seth, you may go on.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So I think the questioning was some of the expectations that we have to know whilst going to develop our eight portfolios. So with what my group discussed, I think some of the expectations that we are supposed to take note is like so how can we optimize our e-portfolios very well on some of these apps like LinkedIn. We have to make sure we like update our profiles very well so that we can gain visibility. If you're able to optimize our profiles very well, we can able to reach enough audience, and also when we even post something on LinkedIn, a lot of people know. So I think these are some of the small things that we discussed in our group. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Seth for sharing. So anyone else? Daniel. Yeah, sorry if I don't get your name correctly. But Daniel, you can go on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So
Okay.
in my group, we discussed why academic CV or transcript is not enough for the job market, and we came out with some of the reasons, and one of them is having a strong academic transcript is good, but on the job market, it's not enough. So you need skills like communication skills, presentation skills, teamwork, uh, and then IT skills like how to use maybe Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint presentation, how to navigate and present information well on the computer, and how to even do reporting, minutes writing, and all that. So when you have a good academic transcript, that will give you the opportunity, but having additional skills will make you stand out in the job market. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And please remember to relate your submissions and what Dr. Frank talked about specifically with your e-portfolio expectations in creating a simple LinkedIn profile. So Raphael Kweku, you can also share with us.
Okay, so with my group, we just discussed about LinkedIn, the advantages and the precautions that we have to take when we are on that site or the application. So some of the advantages that we mentioned was connectivity, the fact that you'll be able to connect yourself with a lot of professionals all over the world. And also one thing is branding. You as an individual, you'll be able to sell yourself, you're able to brand yourself, you're able to brand yourself through the application. And also one thing that we mentioned about caution is that you have to be very precise when you are constructing anything or when you are posting anything. And also you have to be very truthful. In as much as you are being creative or whatsoever, you have to be very truthful in whatever you are posting over there, because you might never know. People may go at your back and then go and do some investigation of a post that you made which wasn't true. So these are just the little that we learned in the group. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So Ralph, which group were you part of?
Group 5. Sorry. Group 5.
Okay. Thank you very much for that submission from group 5 and all the former submissions so far. So, anyone else? My ladies, you can just, also raise your hand and just give your submission. And everyone else, just remember this is all parts of how we can train or practice presenting ourselves, right? So just don't feel shy, don't think too much about it. Just try and present something. So, Bafil, let me hear from you.
Okay. I'm from the group where Raphael just made a submission. I wanted to just add something small.
Okay, you can go
With
on.
respect to the background check he spoke about, I think during my MPhil research, I used a particular enzyme called calcifate. And when I went to LinkedIn to write something about the magic this calcifate can perform when you are using it on a crop, the fact that it can shorten a crop gestation period and those things. Then the one I used has a spelling that ends with SI. Then there was a company that also produces calcifate that is C, that has a C in it, not an S. So when I posted, somebody contacted me that what was the form of my product I used. I saw it's a powdery form. And she said, no, the calcifate she knew, it's not powdery, it's granular. And I said, okay, well, probably you have to check my spelling where she wrote to me, spell the calcifate she sent me. And I said, no, that's not the spelling. The spelling of my calcifate is the one that contains an S, and it is a European-based product. So the woman asked me to take a picture of the calcifed box I have and send it to her through LinkedIn. So we had a consistent chat before she believed that what I used, and I even took a picture of the powdered form of the substance and send it to her. So telling the issue he mentioned that they will make a background check is very, very important, because that is a professional website that have a lot of experts on it that might knew what you are posting more than you do. So you have to be careful whatever you put out there so that the people will not look at you as someone who don't even know what you are doing and those things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bafil, for sharing that inspiring story. Just know that with his story, just see that even being observant about the little things, apart from that, there will be a background check on you, is something that is essential, right? So, KK, and I would advise that you all rename yourselves with your full name so that Access Ghana is also about networking, so we can all know one another and network with each other. So, KK, you can go on.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I'm also from Group 5, and then we were talking about LinkedIn. So what I realized is that LinkedIn is a professional website, a professional place where people that are into professional or are into business, that's where they deal about or they go about their things. So it's a place that is not just for entertainment. It's not for entertainment, not just, sorry. It's not for entertainment or a place that you just wake up, go and see anything over there and leave. It's a place where we take it very, very serious because that's where we connect with people, build ourselves, and then also sell ourselves to others. So what I realize is that it's a very professional way. So those that want to take their professional life or they want to engage people professionally, that's where they do their things, and that's the best place to be as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, KK. So you've really said it all. I think one thing about LinkedIn is the kind of niche it has created as an app is the professionalism associated with it. But I also want you all to keep in mind that creativity is also always admired everywhere. So even on LinkedIn, sometimes you don't always have to be all strict and whatnot. If that is not the core of your personality, there is a way you can integrate how you are, even like your various personal characteristics. Because remember what Dr. Boateng said, these are certain things that you will be portraying in the workplace, and someone out there may be looking for that unique thing about you. So just know how to professionally present yourself, and even the light-hearted things about you. So since I have not seen any other hand, I'm just going to call at random. So Eunice, are you here with us? If you are, just share, because everyone so far said they are from group 5. So the other groups, I think there were 5 groups. So group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Any submissions? You all had 20 minutes. I really encourage you to speak up. We are still awaiting some of our hosts to join us. So we are just having
Hello.
this presentation so you can
Okay,
express
sorry.
yourself. Yeah, who
Hello.
is that?
It's better.
Okay, better. So
Yeah.
better, you can speak now.
Thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
I'm also from group 5. Yes, we also looked at the different parts of LinkedIn, your page on LinkedIn. We talked about the banner, your profile picture, and we also talked about your bio, where you put, stuff about you and all that. And like you said, it's very important that you add some of your soft skills apart from the technical skills that you have. You add some of your soft skills, like I'm good at verbal communication, I'm good at written communication, I am, empathic. I'm somebody who is empathic or has empathy and all that. There, I'm a problem solver. I think critically, and all those things to be part of your LinkedIn profile. And that, like you said, is catchy, and it gives you the exposure that you need. So in fact, group 5, we had a wonderful time talking about so many things. Yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Beta. So, just a few ground rules. This is also just an additional adapt to our training to be young professionals using the digital space. So always on Zoom or whenever you're in a group setting, you can just use the reactions, raise your hand, and then be called upon, so that it does not either distracts the person that is speaking. All right. Okay. So Mavis, what do you have for us?
Hello.
Hi, Mavis. You can go on.
Thank you. I'm from group 4. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah, our first discussion was how to become visible on LinkedIn. So we talked about engaging with posts that resonate with your values. So yes, engaging with posts, commenting on people's posts and reposting them, and also be posting regularly, be posting about things that you are actually good at, something that you want to teach people there. So if you are a language person, maybe a French tutor, an English tutor, you could be posting about maybe teaching. Your focus is on people who are, let's say, beginners. So you'll be teaching them simple grammar, how to introduce yourself in maybe that language and other stuff. And also we talked about following pages and connecting with people who are in the same field with you. And we shared an example. So I think we concluded that doing these kind of things will help you to become visible on LinkedIn. Thank you.
That's really great. It's like you've cracked the LinkedIn algorithm for us over here. Thank you very much, Beta. Okay, so I have Felix. Felix, what do you have for us?
Okay, so I'm also from the 4. And we spoke about how to become visible on LinkedIn, as maybe has already explained. And I want to add this. We also spoke about the mistakes that as a graduate or university student we used to make when you are going to apply for jobs, where Doctor was saying he made mention of some two key points. That is how preparedness you are and the networking you are going to make whilst you are going for.
I don't know if I'm the only one. I can't hear Felix anymore.
My network is, I don't know, having issues. I'm back.
No worries. You are audible now. So just wrap up for us.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we also discussed about how the mistakes that the graduates or the university students used to make when they are going to apply for a job interview or we are going to apply for a job. And as Doctor mentioned, how preparedness you are and then how you are going to network with people. Those are the two things we also talked about.
Okay, thank you, Beta from Group 4, for showing how we can use the LinkedIn algorithm to advantage. And then thank you, Felix, for emphasizing what Dr. Boatin said. And speaking about him, we are grateful to have him back. So, Dr. Boatin, please, can you hear me?
Yes, Joyce, I think it's better now.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So we just had breakout session and then we allowed the participants to explore the various expectations that comes with LinkedIn and just how to brand themselves well and create profiles as well. And we just had an insightful session where they shared various discussions that they had, some discussing how it is very important to be honest, and others sharing story about how even a simple observation that they made and correction that they made to their LinkedIn updates made them interact with others and had other people even investigating about it. So that is just what we've done so far.
Good. We can continue.
Okay, thank you very much, Doug. So I'm just going to continue from the terrain of the other stakeholders and scaling up. We've already discussed how the universities can add your various recommendations to the curricula, like an exit and readiness course or something of the sort. So I'll just also want to ask how industry, like say the mining industry and the universities can collaborate to help these young professionals get into the workspace.
Okay, so this is the reason why most universities have formal internship arrangements. So, for example, if you come to our university in UMatt, we have a unit that liaises with corporate organizations and establish opportunities for students to go and intern during vacations. The process, is that we intend to give opportunities to the students so that in addition to learning the hardcore stuff that we are teaching them on campus, they will be working with teams. And then that will be the beginning of their teamwork. They will be meeting new people. They will be establishing fresh networks that they can leverage on for further employment when they finally exit from the university, as well as national service opportunities. So this is very good. I believe that almost every university should have a unit that will be the university's link with industry in terms of signing with MOUs to give these students opportunities to go and intern. So I think that's a sure way to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. So you have really touched on how the internships and the collaboration with the universities can really help these young ones. I would just want to ask a question on that to um, ask, sorry, if various e-portfolio skills or digital soft skills should be an added package to these internships, or if these industries should have various development skills, especially in connection to e-portfolio for those who come and intern with them.
So for e-portfolio skills, it may be quite asking the organization to do more. But what I know is corporate organizations that students intern do a lot to help the students come back with a number of enhanced capabilities through skill development in networking, teamwork, and other stuff, how to deal with emotional intelligence issues and all that. But specifically on you learning e-portfolio skills, that one, unless you are fortunate to meet a supervisor or a manager who is keen on training, then that person may take his own time to walk you through how you can be visible with something like LinkedIn. You know, we see it all the time. Like some of us, we always want to teach, we always want to help. If you meet a manager of our person, that person would definitely want to leave something out with you before you leave the organization. But of course, it will be very difficult to have a very formal arrangement where we are giving our internship students some of these skills. It will be very, very difficult, and you may be asking too much, because don't forget that there are so many people who are working now. They are already working, but they are lacking these skills because they never had these opportunities we are having now, and they have grown out of it, and they are not winning, as they are supposed to win well. So we have to take it now. We have to take advantage of such opportunities, to help us learn more, to become the better persons that we want to be in the competitive world of work. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you very much. So, and thank you for all the people that you've trained, and even considering to be part of the few people that will train their mentees on such important skills. But as you've mentioned that maybe through internships, maybe it's being a requirement is quite difficult. What other practical ways do you think employers can actually take to bridge these gaps? Because as you've mentioned, it is an issue that exists at various workplaces, that even some of their employees do not have these soft skills. But in the end, it may benefit the organization if they do have it. So, what other, will I say, easier ways do you think are there that these employers and organizations in general can put in place to make sure that their employees, or even the people they want to employ, have these skills?
Okay, so if you deploy something we call the triple helix concept, which is connecting the university to the industry as well as to government. And this big word or big concept has become a working model for most universities. Now, because of these interactions, or because of this concept, we have constant access to industry as well as government, and we have constant engagement, especially with industry. So we do this through sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, especially when we are doing course development. We allow industry to critique and provide us insights that will help us come out with the best courses that the industry is looking out for in the people we are training. Haven't you heard before that sometimes industry says we are training university students that are not meeting the requirements of the industry? So this collaboration help us to also seek feedback from the industry so that we refine what we are doing to meet the needs of the industry. In doing this, we can also tell industry that when we bring you as students for internship, we know most of you have training departments. Can you include in the things that you will teach our students e-portfolio skills, other soft skills that they need, in addition to the hardcore that we have taught them, and you are bringing the practicals, on the field for them. So this collaboration and the deployment of the triple helix will go a long way to help us establish, constant principles that the industry can use to help in training our students. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boateng. So I just have my last two questions for you. Then we'll just go into the question and answer session because I think most of the participants here have a lot to ask. So I just want to ask what advice you would give to students and graduates on how to remain competitive in the global job market. Of course, you've already shared on how they can with things like e-portfolio, but then any other thing that they can use to be or to become competitive in the market arena.
Okay. The first principle is that we must understand we are competing with so many people who are also qualified just as us. Once you have this at the background, it makes you very competitive. What that means is you don't take chances. You don't give any small opportunity a chance. I mean, look, when you get lucky to be called for an interview, you have to take it that if that job, if 1 million people have been invited for that job, the job belongs to you. And how are you going to do that? How prepared are you? You see, because some people don't know that going for an interview is like writing your final professional examination, which when you go and you fail, you will go back and come and write it again. So you take it that this is a do or die affair. Let me put in my all, morally, spiritually, physically, and everything that you need to do. You put it together and you prepare at your optimum best. You could even call people to take you through a model interview where they will ask you questions for you to answer. You prepare certain statements you are going to say. You research on the industry. You are going to ask relevant and thought-provoking questions if you are allowed to ask questions, and so on and so forth. You take every step of it with all the seriousness, and you believe that this one, I am fully prepared, I am going for it. If you go and it does not fall on you, the preparedness you put in the whole process add value to you, and you can be, the next person to be employed in your next interview. So what I would say is that we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared, and we have to be prepared. I mean, the preparations we put in today tells us that when the opportunity comes, we will be able to grab it and pick up the job. So in summary, we should know that we are living in a competitive environment where jobs are hard to come by. Everybody is equally qualified like you are, and there are no chances for anybody. So you prepare in your optimum best, and you go in and win big.
Thank you so much. So to participants, be prepared, it's a do or die affair, and then you should make sure, even among a million interviewees, the job should be yours. Thank you so much, Dr. Frank. So, just lastly, as you have discussed a lot with us, would really appreciate it if you could share a success story where a strong combination of soft skills and a compelling e-portfolio and self-presentation has, and of course, prepared and being prepared has given opportunities to individuals to advance their career.
Okay. So last week, Friday, I got a call from one of my mentees, and he told me that he has landed a finance manager role in one of the mining companies. And I asked him, how did it happen? He said, oh, Doc, they reached me out on LinkedIn. They said they have seen my profile and they were checking if I was available to be interviewed. And he said, yes, they should give him 48 hours. He will be ready. He took his time to prepare. He went in for the virtual interview. It was good. The director of the company had flown from Australia into Ghana. He met him for a physical conversation, and they have given him an offer, and he was calling to tell me. This and many stories that I get on daily basis on how people get jobs through their e-portfolios. So imagine that if this individual's e-portfolio was not enhanced, look at the millions of people who are on LinkedIn who are available for a finance manager job. He would never have had it. So this is one success story that I can share with you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. That is really amazing to hear. I guess I may be the next person in your LinkedIn DM after this session. But thank you so much. So we'll just go straight into the question and answer session. So participants, as we practice during our presentations, if you have any question or if you want to speak, kindly use the reaction button and raise your hand. Then you will be called on to ask a message, to ask a question, sorry. So, okay, so I have a question here. The person is asking how you're observing those that are living your dream. Okay, I think it was early on when you were talking about how we can get people who we would have them as our mentors or role models. So I think you've touched on that. But then the second question is in regards to presentations and then the university. So the person is asking, please, is presentations and teamwork part of the soft skills that the university can inculcate into the students?
Yes, Joyce, let me take that one. I think that
Okay.
one, we do that a lot. Every lecturer would want students to do presentation in class. So that is the commonest one that we do. The unfortunate thing is that certain students will sublet this, or they will contract the respective contractors in the group to go and prepare the PowerPoint presentation. And even sometimes when it comes to the physical delivery, you will see that they didn't really take part in the preparation. They are passengers, and you can visibly tell that they are just standing there and they are not making any input. You see, it's not every lecturer who will push you to the wall and tell you you are not part, and because of that you are going to lose marks. But yes, you can do that. But the question is, it doesn't change anything. If that individual is not prepared to learn, to know how to do this, to know how to hone his presentation skills, to know how to deal with his stage flight and public speaking, you can't help it, than to leave the person, and help those who are ready to want to build these skills to move on. So yes, these are low-hanging fruits that you can easily find when you come to the university. And these ones are there from year 1 or level 100 to year 4 or level 400. you'll be doing a number of presentations in several classes. And if you are serious, by the time you even leave school, you even know how to do proper graphical presentations, which I know some people who even have a living on just putting people's work in presentation, getting it properly done, and charging them and earning money. So there are so many things that as young people we can put our minds at and make sure we learn these skills and become better persons, as well as earning some other income, from them.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. So we have another question, and the question goes, how can we as undergraduates optimize our e-portfolios to gain visibility and also grab opportunities?
So Joyce, I teach a course in our year 2 students, and especially those who are doing economics and industrial organization. And this course is business communication. Okay. So in this course is all about how individual will be able to communicate within the business environment and the business atmosphere. And when I go into that class, we first create an organization. So the class becomes a company. And the principle is that when you are bathing in the morning to come to class, that very class, put in your mind that you are going to work. So when they get into the classroom, the way they sit with departments. So marketing department will sit at a particular place. Accounting department, supply chain, all the respective departments and organizations, they sit. And we learn and we communicate with emails, we communicate with memorandums and all the tools that you are supposed to use in the corporate world for business communication as students and as in the classroom. So I believe that sometimes it is also the approach of the person delivering and how experienced he is and how he intends to let the students have a better appreciation of what is needed. So I don't know if I've answered every aspect of the question that was asked.
Yes, you definitely have. That's really amazing to know as well. I think this is my first time hearing that such a teaching method actually is implemented. And thank you so much for doing that. We do not have any other question in the chat. Do anyone have any other question? You can just use the reaction button and raise your hand. Okay, so before anyone asks, I would just personally like to ask you, Dr. Frank. Okay, so Felix is here. Felix, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, so this is the question I want to ask now. On LinkedIn, when you go there, you see a lot of people sharing posts, and let's say 90% of them are sharing it in the form of writing a copy, in the form of posting content. Is there no way that somebody also can do it in the form of video form, record a video whilst also talking about something that he could maybe write? Because I see most people, I don't know why a lot of people are into writing, and some people are also don't know much into writing. I mean, getting an idea to write, it's kind of difficult. So I don't know if there's another way of, let's say, making a video to post on it. Is it also a professional way to share your content on LinkedIn?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Felix Boahen. You see, if it is a matter of you lacking ideas, then obviously if you want to do a video, I don't know how you get the idea to do it. Now, the issue is usually videos are voluminous in terms of size. And I don't know the size that LinkedIn can allow you to drop. You can post on Facebook and bring the link. You can post on YouTube and bring the link, meaning you can post on any other site that will allow you to drop large size video and bring the link. So that is possible. But here is the thing.
Doc, your line is
followers.
breaking a bit. Dr. Frank, we can't hear you clearly. Hello? Yes, Dr. Frank.
Yeah, can you can you hear me now?
Yes, please. It's much better now.
Okay.
So you had
yeah,
okay.
so that was the point I was making. That yes, you can do video if only you know what you want to put out there. There is no problem with you doing a video. You can go ahead and do that. So it's all about knowing what you want to post and whether you want it in a visual content or you just want to put it in a text form. You can do that. But make sure if it's a video, the quality is good. Your environment, it's good, something that people would want to watch and re-forward it or come back to watch again. Don't do anything that will piss people and let them move away from your network. That is very, very, very important. So let's note that.
Okay, thank you very much. So remember to be very respectful on LinkedIn as well and explore other ways to communicate on it. Any other question from anyone? Please, my ladies, better, juniors, confident. Any question? Okay, so Prof, the question I was about to ask is in relation to time management and just how to be able to manage your time and with regards to still being able to create your e-portfolio. Because as you said, you need to be posting on the LinkedIn as well and updating content, and that also require some amount of time. So what is your advice on time management versus creating e-portfolios and getting a digital presence?
So this is what I have to say. The thing is, everything you want to invest in comes with time. We are always limited by time, and it's very difficult mostly to have time. But hey, you still have to win. You still have to get it done. So for me, my advice is that prioritize, time yourself very well, and make sure you post very timely. I mean, there is a particular time that you can get the attention of viewers, especially mid in the morning where people have already settled in and they have done a bit of their morning activity. Later in the evening where people have already finishing up, just to go home. So you can decide to choose these peak times to do your postings so you can get the viewing public, to view and give you the response you need. Yes.
Okay, Doc, thank you very much for giving us extra nuggets to crack the LinkedIn algorithm. So we have a question from Beta. So she says LinkedIn has a premium option that is relatively expensive. How can we navigate our way to win without being a premium member? Hello, Doc. Please, did you hear that? Dr. Barton, if you are trying to speak, we can't hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Okay. So
Yeah.
shall I take the question again, or did you
Yeah, take
hear?
it again. I didn't hear
Okay. So
anything.
someone says LinkedIn has a premium option that is relatively expensive. How
Mhm.
can we navigate our way to win without being a premium member?
Um, so I have almost 50,000 people following me on LinkedIn. Almost. I am not a premium. I am not a premium user of LinkedIn. I haven't done that. So if you have the money to pay, I wouldn't say don't go for it because it
Hello.
has
Hello, Doug. You are breaking again.
some premium benefits that you can yes, it has some premium benefits that you
Okay,
can
this is
enjoy.
better.
But what I can tell you is your consistency in your delivery of posting, your assertiveness, how how you are visible, and the kind of people you are following and what you are sharing. That is what you need to be consistent with. I mean, following the right people and asking them to connect with you or allowing you into their network. It's very, very key. So you don't have to be thinking of premium now. It comes by itself. I have even been offered by LinkedIn a huge percentage to connect on premium, but I said I won't because I feel with that premium, I have really developed myself well on LinkedIn. I mean, having close to 50,000 people following me. If I don't really need to enjoy any of the benefits that the premium will give me, why should I go in for it? Are you getting me?
Yeah, I do get you. Thank you very much. But I hope your answer is I hope the answer given is one that suits your question. So, confidence also have one. Though this question is not part of what's shared, um, if you are asked how much you think a company should pay you in the interview room, what should be your response?
Ah, that's a that's a tricky question. Let me tell you
Yeah.
this. Um, every job offer has a wage. I have sat on the other side of the table and asked these questions many times. And I've always pushed people to commit to how much they expect to be paid. Um, if 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 you do not know how to deal with it, you can throw any figure out there. And sometimes it can be used against you. When you are doing the final analysis and we need to make separation, you can say the guy is too expensive and throw you, maybe you just to call it that. So my advice is that when we push you to the wall, try as much as possible to also push us to the wall by not committing to any figure. That's the only thing I'll tell you. And you must be clever at that. When they ask you, you tell them you know the job, every job, on the market, especially in the organization, you have job skills and you have remuneration for each role. So definitely there is a budget for this role. That is why you have advertised for us to come. For you, you want to come and support the organization to achieve its objectives. And you know that the value you are adding to the organization, they will never shortchange you. So you don't want to commit to any figure. That's how you need to go about it. They can push you. I mean, for me, if you come in the interview room and I'm sitting there, I will push you to the wall for you to say something. But I'm telling you, if I'm doing that, try to also push me back to the wall in a clever way so you don't commit yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Frank. Push them to the wall as well, but be clever about it. So the next question is from Eshon Ebenezer. And then he asks, if even though we want to sell ourselves good to attract employees, I guess he meant employers, are there certain things that we are not supposed to share, even though it might be positive?
One, you must try and answer questions that you ask. You don't need to volunteer any information that is not relevant to the conversation. So be very careful. Answer questions that you ask. If you have extra information that will enhance your chances, feel free to give it up. But don't over volunteer. Don't over volunteer, because sometimes people tend to get swayed and talk a little too much beyond what they are expected to say. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just take the last question. And the question is from Asiedu Evangel. And the question is, which kind of network invitation on LinkedIn should we accept? Is the goal to increase one's network, be a reason to accept, or if the person aligns with the goal? I guess they're just trying to ask which kind of connections that are okay to accept or connect with on LinkedIn.
You see, even LinkedIn sometimes wants, they want, and they tell you, be careful with the people you are connecting with. So they even put that warning there for you. What that means is it is not everybody you need to connect with. So I mean, what I do is, I when I go on my peak periods and want to catch back on my network, I take time to go through the people that have requested to connect with me. I see what they are doing. I see their skill set, and I see if they will add value to my network. If they won't add value to my network, I just don't accept them. So don't accept anybody or in the name of building a network. But make sure the people you are bringing in are people that will add value to your skill set, people that you can connect well with, to be of mutual benefit to all of you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Frank. It has been an amazing and insightful session with you. I have personally learned a lot, and I know our participants have also learned a lot. So thank you very much for your time. And then may you have a very good evening and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much, Joyce, and
Yeah.
to all our participants. I wish you guys all the best, and I believe that we will practicalize everything we have learned here today, because that's what we want to see. We want to see that you are using this and you are winning, and Access 2.0, it's also winning. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So the announcement.
Yeah. So, Felix, sorry about that. Our time was fast spent. That is why I couldn't take your question on that. So, please, access host, or if Mr. Christopher or Dylan is around to give any announcements to our participants, or Mr. Salom.
Is that how many weeks our class is going to take?
Okay.
And the recordings of the session.
Okay, so the few announcements that are there, I'll just relate to all of you. So first of all, kindly go and check your Google Classroom. Kindly check your Google Classroom. An assignment will be updated for you, and then the recording of this session will also be sent or updated on the Google Classroom platform. So that is in connection with announcements. So Felix, were you asking something or did someone ask something? I didn't hear you clearly.
Yes, I
Please,
was
was
asking how many days or weeks our class is going to take.
Okay. So the training will be 2 weeks and to be online as well. If there are any other additions or changes to the dates or the schedules, you will be adequately informed. Yes, there will be a today, there'll be a quiz for today's session and more appropriately an assignment. So please be sure to check your Google Classroom.
Please, was an assignment given yesterday?
Please just check the Google Classroom. Our main moderator is not here right now, but then just everything will be uploaded on the Google Classroom, and then our next session will be on Monday as well. So please be sure to check your time, and as you've noticed, is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. If there are any changes, will be communicated to. But then please make sure to join the sessions. Enjoy early enough.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. I think that the assignments have been posted on the classroom. However, if you need anything, the WhatsApp group, make sure you send it there, and information there would respond appropriately. It's very important that we've been assigned e-coaches. Maybe from next week, we'll introduce them to you. They'll be assisting you when you are done with building your portfolio, how to go about it and the practicality of it. So they'll be assisting you to do that. So it's very, very important that you spend time to build the portfolio. Anything that you need, you go to the WhatsApp group, type it, and then somebody would answer and respond to you. Of course, if you have been put in a group already with an e-coach, you can ask your e-coach. He can also help you do that one. And please remember to keep sharing the link. In today, our attendance was 53, which is low. So please tell them, and then they will let you know. The WhatsApp is locked. Okay, so the moderators are looking at it, and they will get back to you. Thank you again for the other one. I'm sure the Siemens manager had an emergency meeting, so he could not join for today. We'll make sure that in one of the sessions he will join and then share his experience with you. Thank you very much, and thank you for nice moderation. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher Addo. So I hope everyone's questions have been answered. Yes, so please kindly contact your e-coaches as well. Those groups have not been logged, I believe. Okay, so thank you everyone. We've come to the end of today's session. Again, be reminded that the next session will be on Monday. So bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Bye. Thank you, Joyce.
Bye. Welcome.